So let me welcome you on today's virtual session. On behalf of Pure Storage, I would like to again welcome you today. We would like to discuss our company Pure Storage with my colleagues, Jarka, who is our manager here at Pure Storage, and Martin, who is our Puritan/engineer in Pure Storage. And of course, me as a part of talent acquisition team. Today, we would like to discuss with you some topics related to not only our expertise, which we are doing, but also kind of management point of view. How does it look like at Pure Storage? And I would like to share with you some information about benefits and hiring process at Pure Storage specifically. At the beginning, I would like to just give you a really short introduction about Pure Storage. We are a Silicon, I'm sorry?
Just to check, is anybody here who doesn't understand English?
Yeah.
Nikdo nerozumí anglicky? Ne, v pohodě.
Okay, yeah, that's a really good point. If there is anyone who is not able to understand English, just please let us know, and then we will try to figure it out. Just really short and brief intro about Pure Storage. We are coming from Silicon Valley, from the US. We are a software company. 95% of our development team is based directly on software. And our expertise as a Pure Storage is in data and data storages. And regarding data and data storages, that's something that we would like to talk closely with Martin Wojtek. Let me just please share screen with you, and we can start. So here.
And please feel free to ask questions during the presentation.
And of course.
Or discussion than just our monologue.
Yeah, exactly. If you have any kind of questions, just please do not hesitate to ask. Don't be shy. So we are ready for that. So can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me just present. Okay. So our first host from Pure Storage will be Martin. So please, Martin, you can take action.
Okay. I will take off my mask so you can.
Yeah, I can put it on.
Yeah, you mean better. All right. So I will tell you a little bit about myself first. So I studied at Charles University informatics some time ago. I also studied masters and also PhD for some time there. And so I know how difficult the study is there. And I think Pure Storage is quite a good place where you can basically use your skills in terms of algorithms, data structure knowledge, and this kind of stuff. So it's a really nice place for MathFiz students and absolvents. I will tell you something about the storage in general at the beginning, a brief history of storage, and then I will show you what are we actually doing here in Prague, what kind of development you can be involved in. Okay. So at the beginning, what's Pure Storage? You probably heard it was founded in 2009. The headquarters are in Mountain View in California. So it's basically in the same location as big well-known companies. And also the main products we have or we sell to our customers are FlashArray and Flashblade, which are basically some kind of enterprise arrays, so big disks the customers can use, which have some really nice features like a high throughput performance or a low latency. And we have more than 8,800 customers. This number grows every quarter or every year, and also there are some fast facts you can find on the internet, or whenever this presentation is shared with you, you can click the link and read more about Pure Storage. Okay, so let's start with the introduction to storage and data. Right here you can see it's probably well-known chart. So this one represents the global data growth. So you can see annual size of the global data sphere. So basically how much data is generated every year. So today we are in 2021. So here you can see this bar represents something around 65 zettabytes, right? So on the left side you can see the zettabytes, and here you have the years, right? So there is some kind of projection to 2025, and as you can imagine, data is growing faster and faster. So basically, Pure Storage is in a good place because we are selling the storage, right, for this kind of data. And it's interesting that the source of data is changing over time, right? At the beginning, it was mainly generated by people, right, who bought some PCs or in some data centers or some research universities. And over time, it changed to some media. And nowadays, a lot of data is generated, for example, by IoT devices or some machine learning algorithms, this kind of stuff. So it's always changing. And also because these are the COVID times, so as you can imagine, people are sitting at home. They do a lot of Zoom meetings and this kind of stuff. So there is a lot of video also nowadays, and also virtual desktops. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. Okay, I see. I need to minimize this. So here you can see what actually means 175 zettabytes, right? Because in terms of nulls, it's quite a huge number. And actually, I wasn't aware about these terms when I was, for example, in high school or maybe at the university, right? So zettabyte, I think we ended in exabytes, right, back then, and basically these terms are there are always new terms, right? Zettabyte, and if you can, do you know how many bits is this in terms of bits? Because this is in terms of bytes, right? So if you can imagine how much bits this is, anyone?
No.
Okay.
Surely not.
Yeah, so it's 1.4 septillion bits, right? And septillion is another new word, probably not used casually. And probably in 10 years we will learn new and new words for more and more data. Okay. So this is a brief history of storage, and it goes back to 1956. So in 1956, the first hard drive was released by IBM. And as you can imagine, it was a huge device. It was comparable to to height of some kind of plane, and it weighed around 1 ton, and it was really huge, right? And 34 years later, in 1980, the first Gigabyte hard drive was released by IBM. So it's a lot of years, right, from first hard drive, which was 5 megabytes to 1 gigabyte, right? 34 years. Then actually in 1984, Flash was invented by Toshiba, and it wasn't very used, right, at that time. And still, companies were using regular hard drives. Even nowadays, some companies use hard drives instead of Flash because Flash is still quite expensive. It has different properties, and it wasn't a very well understood. It wasn't used around the globe in a huge amount, right? So in 1986, there was another milestone. SCSI was invented, which is basically some kind of protocol and cabling, which was necessary to connect multiple peripherals to servers. In 1988, RAID was invented, and SLED stands for a single large enterprise disk. And this is kind of an analogy what happened, right, with CPUs, for example, because multi-core CPUs were invented when there was some kind of cap in terms of technology and price for a single core solutions. So basically, when you put some number of disks together, you can basically expose this set of disks as one single device. So the client of this device is perceiving this huge box with many disks as a single device, and it can use the same protocol, and it has different properties, right? So you can basically have much more space than in case of one single large disk, right? In 1995, internet was kind of not invented, but there was a rapid adoption, at least in the US, right? Here in Europe, it was a little bit slower, maybe a little bit some years later. But it really influenced the storage market because new technologies, new protocols were invented and used for accessing storage devices. In 2007, right, just for letting you know, 2007 first terabyte hard drive was invented or produced by Hitachi. And what was really important milestone, so in 2008, iPhone was released, right? And what happened next, right? So other producers of mobile devices started to use Flash, because iPhone was actually the first such device which was really using only Flash as a storage, right? So others followed this model, and that was basically the time when Flash was starting to be much more affordable, right? So Pure Storage was founded of this idea that we can use now Flash for enterprise storage, because it's not that expensive anymore. It's produced in massive amounts, right? So that was basically the foundation idea why Pure Storage was founded, right? So and then Pure Storage started to produce flash arrays, and here you can see the last generation, which is one of the generations, which is X1. This is the performance flash array with low latency, high performance, and it's all flash, right? So there is nothing spinning. There are no spinning drives. It's designed exclusively for flash. What does it mean, right? It means that there is specific software and firmware used. So everything is really optimized for flash storage. It supports block storage devices like DAS or SUN. There are also the best protocols supported, like Fiber Channel, iSCSI, NVMe over the fabric. NVMe is used all over the place, and it's basically the most performant protocol used nowadays. And in the recent years, or in the last 2 years, Flash Array also supports NFS and SMB, which are file protocols. So you can basically you can mount disk using NFS, and you would be able to use Flash Array. And what's differentiating us from our competitors is world-class simplicity. So here you can see on this here. This is basically installation manual, right? So it's really small. It's like a business card size, and these are basically the commands you need to type in into Flash Array, and you would be able to start using the Flash Array for your use case. The main use cases, for example, for this device is hosting virtual machines and big databases like Oracle, MySQL, this kind of databases. And so because it's low latency, right? And on this single device, you can run hundreds of virtual machines. So if you have, I would say, mid-sized company, you can probably support all of your employees and provide every employee with such a virtual machine. Another product we have is Flashblade, and this is a little bit different type of storage than the previous one, because this one offers file and object storage. It also supports NFS, but it supports or implements the S3 protocol. So basically, when you are, if you know AWS and if you have used use it. There is S3 service you can use for storing data or getting data, and basically Flashblade supports the same protocol, so you can use the same protocol as in AWS for your storage. It also has NVMe based backend. It's massively scalable, and each of these blades, this is a blade here, is not only storage, but it adds another CPU and network. So basically, if you add another blade, you are scaling out really the performance of the Flashblade, because you are not adding only the storage, but also the CPU, compute power, and the network. And this kind of devices is used for different use case, right? Because it's not low latency, but it's a high throughput device. So this one can be used, for example, for machine learning. So if you are designing some chips, some CPUs, for example, you can use a Flashblade. Also, if you are simulating something like, for example, autopilot, for some smart cars, this is the device you would be probably buying for this kind of use case. And also it's used for rapid restore in some companies. And I will get to it here, because here in Prague, we are actually working on some solutions which protect you and help you in case of ransomware attack, which is nowadays quite a big deal. Because, for example, in the US, they had some really big issues with ransomware attacks in the last couple of months. And there is some kind of definitions I found on the internet, right? So ransomware is basically a type of malware that attempts to extort money from a computer, right? It tries to either encrypt data or delete data and basically lock you out from your data, and then you are basically forced to pay some ransom to the people who locked your computer or your devices, right? And now I'm getting to what are we actually working on here at Pure in Prague. So PaaS stands for Pure as a Service, and I'm actually working in this team. And we are basically implementing features which can use, which are basically built on top of flash arrays or Flashblades, and these are high-level services, right? So these services are running in the cloud, and also we have some agents on these flash arrays or Flashblades on these devices. And we are basically trying to back up these flash arrays or Flashblades, inform the users that, for example, that they are not really protected if they don't turn on some security features. So in a case of attack, we really would like our customers to be safe, right? So we really want to show them that they need to, for example, turn on some save mode, which we offer as a means of ransomware protection. And these features are really used in many companies, and many companies really were saved by this software and by flash arrays. And I'm not talking just about commercial companies, but also some subways, right? In US are really relying on this solution because they are also target of ransomware attacks, and many hospitals. So this is a very important feature because when a hospital is down by ransomware attack, and even in these days, right, we are fighting with COVID, and it's a really big problem worldwide, especially in US. Also in Czech Republic, the same thing happens. So we are basically trying to do some snapshots from the data which is on these flash arrays, and we are able to really quickly restore a massive amount of data, especially when you are using Flashblade, which has high throughput. So you can basically restore hundreds of gigabytes or terabytes of data in really short amount of time. So here is some kind of picture what we basically do. our devices offer synchronous replications. For example, if you have two disks which are running, for example, 20 kilometers far away from each other, they can be run synchronously. So basically, whenever you write something to one device, it's also written into the second device, right? The same command. So the same data is on both devices, and whenever something happens to one device, you will still be able to read data from another device. When the distance between these devices is higher, right? For example, spanning countries or continents, then you would probably use asynchronous replication because there is the limitation of speed of light, right? So you can't really do synchronous replication. Also, you can use snap to NFS feature, which takes a snapshot, and you can store the snapshot on some other device using NFS protocol, or you can actually store the snapshot to the cloud, where the cloud is basically isolated from the array. So whatever happens to the array, you will still be able to restore your data, even though if whatever happens right to the array, if there is an earthquake or ransomware attack, you are still able to access your data because it's written in some safe cloud storage space. Okay. Also, we are the next step. What are we gonna develop here in Prague is some detection features, and we will be probably cooperating with our colleagues from Mountain View because there is a plan to implement some AI ML machine learning algorithms which would help you with ransomware detection. If you should be able to detect that someone is attacking you, right? And this is one of the projects we are working on right now. And here you can see high-level architecture of the solution. So basically, we are running some pass agents on the flash arrays. We are sending snapshots to the cloud. We have some restore engine and protection engine. So basically, the customer can specify which volumes need to be protected in what way in a declarative fashion, and then we are able to restore the data of the customer. And here you can see past technology stack, what we actually use, right? So we develop microservices. They are written mostly in Kotlin or Java. We use also Python for some special tasks, and front end is using Angular, right? So if you know JavaScript, you should be fine. Another thing is for CI/CD pipelines, we use a classic GitHub. It's well known. Then we use Gradle, which is used for building the microservices. We use Spinnaker, which was originally developed by I think it was Netflix. So this is a software which can deploy the microservices anywhere. Basically, we use Kubernetes here, Kubernetes clusters. Also, we use Helm and Rancher for the Kubernetes. So we can, for example, use some secret store and this kind of stuff for the Kubernetes. For the microservices, we package them as a Docker containers. We run it in Kubernetes, and also we use VMware somewhere, because our customers basically the most common use case is that they run some virtual machines on VMware on flash arrays. So right now we are building these agents, the pass agents, which run on like nearby flash arrays in some kind of VM virtual machine running in VMware. And these agents are monitoring the flash arrays, sending the data to the cloud, and then we can basically secure the snapshots and be able to restore some data. Also, we use other technologies like Kafka for messaging. We use Mongo or DocumentDB in AWS. Other databases like Postgres, which is open source database, and Snowflake, which is on the other hand, it's totally cloud-based database. And we use primarily AWS, but we plan also to use for the snapshots, we use also Azure and Google Cloud. And the primary operating system is Linux for the microservices, obviously, to be able to package them as Docker containers. So, any questions to this? Because I was talking for some time now.
Don't be shy. Or is there anything you didn't understand, or you want to go deep?
Yeah,
I don't think so. It's just not to understand, but it's just the first meeting was actually behind the walls of Pure Story. So I guess this question will come at the end. So just thank you. We just want to understand what's Pure Storage about. So that's what we need. Thank you.
Okay, then.
Okay. So now, thank you, Martin, for this comprehensive package of information. I hope it was really useful. And again, if you have any questions or later on can come up, just please let us know. So now it will be Jarka's turn. As I already mentioned at the beginning, Jarka is our manager at Pure Storage, and she will share with you some of her experiences as a manager at Pure Storage. So fasten seatbelts.
Hi, so because I just joined Pure kind of recently, it's been almost 3 months. And actually, Martin was the one who recommended me to Pure, so I'm very thankful for this because I almost accepted another offer. Yeah, just a few minutes before he changed my mind, so I'm very happy. And I'm kind of, because I've been working in IT maybe 13 plus years, and I used to work for like the big companies, corporates. So I see some very big differences here at Pure, which I would like to share with you. So the first is like from the manager perspective, and I'm not, of course, the only one manager, but the approach is mostly the same. So we're trying to be more like a coach. We don't give you the tasks. We try to the team and the individuals to find their take the responsibility for the tasks. We try to motivate you or our engineers, and mostly to show and guide them through the opportunities. Also trying to challenge the team, setting them some goals, of course, reachable goals, and to get the best from the engineers and the whole team. Sorry, what's the message? And from the team and from the engineers, and to be, as I'm mentioning in this slide, to be better every day. We're also trying to be support to make the engineers' life easier, to prepare all the environments for them, everything to make them to the engineering work as easy as possible, to facilitate, to support them in any way you can imagine, of course, to as well as defend them. So we are trying to put their interest first. It's really, the company is, actually we had yesterday kind of interesting discussion with another company, and they were surprised that we have really this bottom-up approach, because usually it's from the up to down, that it goes from the leadership and the engineers just has to kind of follow. But here at Pure, it's mostly the opposite way. The engineers, as I will speak later, and they have their word and they can speak up. Of course, we are trying to be a guardian, to protect the team from, of course, in the leadership we sometimes discuss some tough topics, but we don't want to bother our engineers with such things, and we just let them know what's relevant for them. And of course, it's this number 2 is mostly what I'm saying in this first sentence in the slide, and actually use it. It was posted on the LinkedIn. I really like this because it's exactly what we do at Pure. That the team doesn't work for its manager, but the manager works for their team. So we are here for the engineers and not the engineers for us. And we want them to grow, and to be better. And that's the highest goal for us. Do you have any questions maybe before we go to this? Or maybe if you can share your experience, if you already maybe was doing some internship, or you had some part-time job, or you already have. or maybe you were at some job interviews and what you heard, or if you like this approach, if it's something, you know, because you are the younger generation, so what's your expectation, you know, for your maybe first employer? Is there anybody who wants to share some opinion?
They're shy.
Nobody. Come on, guys, challenge me. Okay.
You'll be challenged later on.
Yeah, okay. And then some like engineering experience. Martin can could me here. What I can see, you know, that this Lukáš will follow with the benefits, because it's here kind of was I'm sorry, kind of surprising for me that here you can choose the notebook brand. Really, it's Mac or Lenovo. Different sizes, different setups. So it's really up to you. Doesn't matter if you're an engineer, manager, or director. Whatever, you know, fits you, it's up to you. Also, you can choose the operation system, which is also nice. From the developer perspective, you can choose the IDE and the tools. Of course, there are some limitations, for instance, that we use for some automated jobs, some, let's say, the Jenkins in most of the teams. So in this case, you don't have such a choice for your own choice, but there are still some ways that you can, you know, such as maybe something new. You can, as I was kind of speaking before, that you can choose your work. Of course, there is some limit or some range from what you can choose, but mostly it's up to the team and up to the individuals to pick up, you know, what task they want to do, what they want to focus. And we also trying to work with the teams, you know, and what we should focus, you know, for, let's say, the next quarters, and even like work with the product owners, product managers, you know, and bring the ideas. So, but of course we're limited with our business, but still it's up to your choice. As I mentioned even before, you can, you know, have the opinion and you can actually share it. It's very open here. You can even go to talk to our CEO or to the founders, you know, or whatever senior leadership you want. And you can discuss with them. If you have an idea, you don't have to just follow the go to your manager and your manager to the director and this chain of command, but you can, you know, just reach to anybody in the org structure you want. So this is really great. As I mentioned, by this you can really make a difference. You know, you can here grow, you can fail and learn from the mistakes. Nobody, you know, will tell you that you made a mistake and, you know, pushing you for this or, you know, giving you a hard time. It's normal. We know it. We are not flawless. We know about each other that we are not. And actually, we have this kind of Teresa, our colleague, all the time mentioned this, that we had this I don't know policy, that, you know, nobody will judge you for saying that you don't know something. This is also great. So then we also provided, because we hire not only for the specific teams, although for the first assignment you will be assigned for some team, but you can rotate among the teams, and we actually support it. And we prefer, when we hire people, that they have the will to learn new things, and we want them, you know, to actually try to participate in more projects during the time. We of course hire people here to stay for years, not for some, you know, few months. So really, then Lukáš will present you our hiring process. It's kind of a little bit longer than is usual, but it has the, you know, there is the reason for this. We're also supporting, it's called giving back, that we speak with the communities. Our engineers, you know, provide the tech talks. We share our knowledge. We're trying to be, you know, to giving back what we learn here to share with you. And also, if you join Pure, you can be part of the hiring process. So engineers, they get trained, and then they are part of or they are the interviewers. So mostly, if you go through our hiring process, you will speak actually with your possible colleagues. So there is this both sides checking, that they check you if you would fit for the team, if they like to cooperate with you, and vice versa, if you like, you know, working with them on the assignment you will do during the interview. And of course, you can be here yourself. We really don't judge. We don't discriminate for anything unless you hurt by your speech or speaking by your action somebody, then you can just be yourself and enjoy here at Pure. So,
Beautiful.
Sorry?
Beautiful. Beautifully.
Any questions, thoughts, any challenges for this? I know that it might sound, maybe too pinky, but really it is. Of course, we have some other problems related to our company. Not how to say it. Not every company is great, or how to say it. Not any company is perfect, or non-company is perfect. So, but here is the main difference is when we compare ourselves with let's say the corporates or big companies and we also what we like to say that we are looking for the engineers, not only the developers. And the difference between is that here is maybe, if you heard in some big corporates, you have the many layers of different roles: architects, analysts, testers, developers. And here mostly the engineers that do the analyst, architect work, the test work, and even of course the development part. So you do everything, and we are looking for the people who have this mindset and who are not afraid to use their whole brain, not only some part of it.
Maybe how looks the onboarding process at Pure Storage?
Yeah, or Martin, do you want? And because Martin is engineer, so maybe he will cover better this.
So once again, what exactly?
Onboarding
process. It really, I would say it depends on the team, right? But in general, when we have a new joiner, we have some wiki pages for how to start, right? There is a buddy assigned to a new joiner. So whenever there is some issue or some questions, the buddy will help the new joiner with basically anything. Also, we have boot camps, which are kind of set of videos or set of assignments where you can learn what you need to know to be able to start working on some kind of features for your project, right? And every team has a little bit different type of assignments. So, but at the end of the onboarding process, you would be able to contribute to the team and project. And anything to add?
Yeah, and maybe also add because here at Pure we do different technologies. So if somebody wants to change their orientation for some, let's say, programming language, we also provide the internal academy. So you can, for instance, because C++ is kind of challenge for some engineers. So we have here colleagues who can help you to speed up with this. And if you want to maybe doing as we call it, the system software. So we have the System Software Academy for this. If you want to start programming in C++, there are people who will help you with this.
So it means that it's just enough if someone knows just a basic, is on the basic level, maybe in C++, he can take some lessons or courses in Pure Storage just to develop his or her skills.
Also, yes. And we also have the people to guide you through and provide some courses or the lessons.
You will be given by a Pure Storage mentor who will be there with you, go with this process, like Martin shared. And also, as Martin shared, there are certain number of lectures and also labs, just to write and review your coding and then be ready to work with us on our projects.
Okay. And usually, how long does this onboarding process take? It's 2-3 months or longer?
It really depends on the team and project, right? So, for example, Pure as a service team, it's quite short, right? So, in a couple of weeks, people are able to contribute. In Flash Array, I would say it takes several months to be fully up to speed with the project.
And speaking about the teams, does it mean that maybe you just give a chance to the newcomer just to meet the team also before he starts, just if he feels good or not?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are open to any, but because we'll describe the regular interviewing process. But of course, if either our side or the candidate wants to meet more people, either like formally or informally, we're definitely open to this. Can even grab a beer with us and chat with us, informally and know the team before joining. It's okay.
Yeah, we are.
It might help.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let me just brief out. Thanks, Jarka, also for sharing your view about Pure Storage. And here, yeah, you can see some of our pictures of our employees, Puritans. So there is, for example, Jarka with her colleagues, also Terka with her colleagues, and Sinisha, I guess, with his team, Flash Array. So, and now, last but definitely not least, everybody was waiting for this part of presentation for sure. Let me just please share with you our benefits and hiring process at Pure Storage, because as Jarka mentioned, it's kind of specific and tailored really well for our purpose and what we are looking for. So I would like to start firstly with benefits. As you can see on the left side, this is the current list of our benefits. Maybe I forgot to mention that recently we celebrated first year at Pure Storage in Prague. We are kind of the biggest R&D center outside of the US for Pure Storage. So definitely we are still working on more benefits as well. So, for example, as you can see, English and Czech classes, this is a completely new benefit and it's starting from September. As you also can see, we have unlimited vacation, but of course, if you are a student under part-time, there is 25 days of vacation in accordance of the Czech labor law. As a student, you have the right for annual bonus. In our case, it's like 10%. Our stock options are assigned to FTR employees, so full-time regular employees. So this is something that unfortunately students are not eligible. But of course, if your contract is transformed into FTR, you will be assigned to stock options as well. Then the rest, as you can see, we are really care about work and life balance. So there is lots of benefits related to your health and also to your kind of well-being conditions. So we have, for example, life insurance, pension contribution. I know that for students maybe not so attractive, but it's there, so it's definitely useful. We have multi-sport gym pass, which is kind of free of charge. So it's free and you don't have to pay any fees. On the right side, you can see actually the standard, which we suppose it's here when you become our Puritan. On the other slides, you will see, for example, our open space office here in Karlin, which is kind of really modern. We have also relax zones, as you could see, Jarka, for example, with her colleagues, they were playing some games. Really international environment. So we are looking for talents and not based about your I don't know, like language skills, religion, and other stuff. So it's definitely about the right fit to us and also to be good employer for you. Also, we do provide snacks, drinks on a daily basis. As also Jarka mentioned, IT equipment, you can choose MacBook or Lenovo. And last but definitely not least, it's in-house projects. As a Pure Storage, we have, as Martin shared, we have like our projects, our products, Flash Array, Flashblade. We have our own software building operational system. So there is a huge opportunity to work under in-house projects. And this is something that it's really cool. And it's definitely good to mention. And it's a shame that I forgot to mention this academy, because this is also one of our benefits. So thanks for reminding me this. So definitely academy is one of our benefits as well. We are Silicon Valley company, so this spirit is really important to us, to give the opportunity not only people with specific background, I don't know, with C#, but if you want to make a swap to our technologies, our projects are mostly written definitely you have the right choice here. Mostly our projects are written in C++, Java, Python, or for example, Go. So that's about our benefits, and also to meet this kind of great people, right? Including me. So then we have the opportunities to see our office. Actually, I forgot to mention that I guess 2020 we were in the competition about interior. So that's also something maybe good to mention. Kind of healthy snacks. Yeah. How you can say this? It's like the ping pong table. Okay, yeah, cool, perfect. I just wanted to engage you. And of course, now you have the question: what should I do to be able to work for Pure Storage and go to Karlin? So, if you would like to join us, definitely we need to go under our hiring process at Pure Storage. Before starting the official part, of course, if you are, for example, approached by us, or you, for example, you would like to apply to Pure Storage, there is kind of pre-screening call either with me or with my colleagues about our company, about the position itself, your vision, our vision, and etc. If this makes sense to you, to us, then we go under the official process, and this process starts with hackering. Hackering is our assessment. As you can see, designer of this hackering, I created this field because it's important to mention, is our internal employee. So in hackering, you will see and you will find topics and areas you will come across here at Pure Storage. So it's not kind of hackering with questions and areas that you will never come across here, but it was actually tailored for this company. The structure of this hackering is about 10-11 questions. 2 out of them are coding questions. You can choose a language you would like to use for coding. I guess there is about 25 different language choices, including C++ and languages I mentioned, C# and etc. The rest, if you, for example, apply for system software, it's more related to computer science theory with multiple questions. If you, for example, apply to Python team, automation team, it's more about testing infrastructure. So always it depends on the position you are applying to. And the purpose of this hackering, as I already mentioned with design, is that we would like to just show you what you can expect from other steps in hiring process, and also from the company. Like you will mostly you might work with. So if you pass this hackering, maybe also I forgot to mention that this hackering takes up to 60 or 75 minutes. So definitely it's a challenge. I'm not gonna lie. So definitely it's really important to be in a really silent environment, no distractions, and really focus on hackering. So if you pass hackering, then you can expect internal interviews. Also, it depends on the position you are applying to. So for example, like when I joined Pure Storage, I was covering system software engineering. So there is focus on C++. So technical topics for system software are algorithm, concurrency, data structure, and design. So you have these 4 technical topics you will be discussing with our engineers. There are 2 stages. In first stage, you will get 2 out of 4 technical topics. So for example, just imagine that your first stage will be algorithm and concurrency. Each interview takes up to 1 hour. Also, you have a space for Q&A. And also, as Jarka mentioned, every technical interview covers up different engineer. So you will get the chance to minimum to meet 2 engineers from Pure Storage. If you pass this first stage of interviews, then there will be second one. And second stage of technical interviews is the rest of technical topics. So in this case, it's data structure and design, and plus a manager close call. Manager close call means that you will get a chance to speak with the manager. and you can more discuss kind of soft skills, the projects, how does it work here, what is the environment, culture. So some kind of this topic. It's not like a technical interview. So it's like this. If you, for example, apply to automation team, there is kind of different structure. So we will start with algorithm and concurrency as a first stage of interview. And for second stage is more about test infrastructure and this kind of related topics. But manager call is the same. So if you manage to get to this point, so for example, you have like 5 or 6 calls with pure storage, but which is really important to mention, every call is with different engineers. So it's definitely good for you to see if that chemistry is there and if you can imagine to work with pure storage, and also for us to evaluate you as a future performer for pure storage. Then there is so-called huddle. Huddle is a place for all involved engineers who took an action for this specific hiring process, for this specific candidate, and we will discuss and evaluate the performances and overall status of the candidate. And then if the feedback is positive, then we are going with the offer, and we can discuss, of course, like the details about onboarding, and as I mentioned, benefits, academy, and this kind of stuff. So this is kind of hiring process at Pure Storage. I always share with candidates, it's really cool that this hiring process is implemented from Silicon Valley. So if you pass this hiring process in Czech Republic, it automatically means that you will be able to pass this process also in Silicon Valley. So you can take it as a challenge for yourself, that if you are willing and able to pass this well-structured interview process, I guess, for everyone. So let me see. Oh, that's already, thank you. So if you have any questions, I guess we have like 5 more minutes. You can definitely ask. If not, none, definitely don't feel pressure, so you don't have to ask, but definitely we are here, so we can take advantage of that.
I would maybe just add, that this hiring process is also kind of similar for the leadership, for the manager as well as directors. So I had to pass the 2 technical rounds, our director at least 1. So you can be sure, that even people above you know what you are doing. So it's kind of also different from other companies.
All of us, we went through this process. so yeah.
Any questions, thoughts, feedback?
Areas to improve?
I have a question.
Please ask.
Okay, so I'm a CS freshman at Charles University, and I practically did not have any experience with, in any company or with a development team or anything. So I was just looking for opportunities to, get some experience and apply my knowledge to solve some real world problems. And so I was just looking for some advice. Where should I start in order to kickstart my career in IT? And what should I do? So going.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you should probably just start hiring process here, and I think it's the best way how to start your career. Because if you have Pure Storage in your CV, then you will probably have a lot of doors open even in other companies, right? Yeah.
Okay. So all right. So I was just I need your advice. There were things in the slide that I couldn't relate to because of this very reason, because of being an amateur, right? And there are only so many things that I knew from the technology stack slide and things like that. So
yeah, so basically during the hiring process, you should be able to pass with the knowledge from the university. You don't need to know any particular technology.
Okay.
Yeah, or have any like the previous experience. Actually, mostly the graduates pass our hiring process better than some senior guys.
Like we are open not only to senior people, but also graduates, part-timers. So every hiring process is tailored to this specific group. So of course we are aware that if there is a student, that our engineers will not be so specific on really hard skills. So, you know, they are kind of trained for these hirings processes for each individual group or person.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely it's important to pass our hackering. So this is the point that we need to start, and then we can go further.
But we can send a sample.
Yeah, for sure.
Test, so you don't have to be worried. You can, you know, give it a try, like the dry try before the.
That'll be helpful. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.